All right, so it all really started in California in '96. Now we have, 23 states, and now the second recreational state has come on board. So this movement is moving in the medical movement and also moving around in the recreational. In both these states, the cannabis business is really booming, and entrepreneurs are starting to come out of the woodwork, and true branding of cannabis products like Ebu and Keef Cola, D-Bar Candy Bar, Keef Cola, Dixie Elixir, Chiba Chew, just to name a few of the brands that are really starting to come out in the market. Kyle Cushman, who's really a 12-time Cup Cannabis winner. Kyle's been growing medical cannabis in California for many years. He's known in the industry. He was the editor for High Times.
There he is.
Thanks. He also worked, he also taught the cultivation class at Oaksterdam from 2008 to 2009. Kyle has developed his own strain of nutrients. So everybody's heard of organics. He's taking it a step above to veganics. Basically, he's looking at creating nutrients and has done this, and it's taken him many years to do it. And it has no animal products in it. And I think this is going to kind of be the wave of the future as far as growing organically. All these products are going to have to be tested these days. The days of California, no regulations are gone. And trace minerals and those kind of things that you can get in synthetic nutrients, you can't always flush out. So I think, this is going to be the wave of the future. He feels like he's going to be cultivating the plant at the best of its ability in the purest form by using, his kind of nutrients. Soon you're going to see strains that are trademarked, and it's really here, to be honest with you. The Stanley brothers, some of you know who they are. They're out of Greenworks, and they have the Realm of Care in Colorado. They have Charlotte's Web. Everybody's heard of that. We just passed the bill, low THC, high CBD, Charlotte's Web bill, everybody calls it. And all you guys are going to be looking to get a ticket for that, some of you. And the thing is even if you qualify, where are you going to get the strain? He's the only guy who has it. And the only way you're going to get it out of him is work some kind of deal out with him as far as starting a Realm of Care organization. There's only one other place besides their dispensaries in Colorado that you can get Charlotte's Web, and that is a gentleman in California. He opened his dispensary about 5 months ago. He got shut down, and he's looking to reopen because where he opened in LA County, he was above the number for what they require there. And he went to Colorado, tracked Josh down, basically begged him just to get this strain. And the outcome of that was, I'll give you seeds, but you got to start a Realm of Care. And he has to sign a piece of paper. He can't give that strain out to anybody. So that strain's licensed. So it's going to be interesting to see the people that do get this ticket, as everyone's talking about, how they're going to get this strain. It's out there. There's some underground ways of probably getting it, but it's not very prevalent. That being said, mainstream entrepreneurs are going to really need to learn how to deal with the culture and learn how to understand the people that are growing. When I was in California, I saw firsthand the need for regulation. There wasn't any. Thank God for testing. I saw a lot of growers that would grow cannabis and would spray it in different weeks, times, and you end up with neem oil or all kinds of pesticides on it because they had spider mites or something else. And those are things that are going to be addressed now that we're going to have regulation moving forward in this industry. So those of us who know how to grow know it's not all that difficult, but we also know that it's not that hard either. If you're going to try and learn this on your own, I can pretty much guarantee you're going to fail. And that's because most of the information that's out there is pretty basic. It's basically geared towards a basement grower or a closet grower, someone that is allowed to grow 4 to 6 plants. I've helped a lot of people over the years, getting gardens going, getting warehouses going, greenhouses, and I've run into a bunch of gardeners and a bunch of people that think they know how to grow. And they do know how to grow roses and pumpkins and everything else under the sun, but they really have come to me because they failed growing cannabis because they thought they knew how. And the problem is that they don't understand the cannabis plant. Cannabis is a very unique plant. It has many different strains. Every one of these strains has some uniqueness to it. They might need certain nutrients at certain times during their cycle. They need certain pH factors, and unless you can figure this stuff out on your own or have somebody to tell you, it's gonna take a lot of money and a lot of time to figure this stuff out. You know, just to give you an example of dealing with a grower, I was with some people and we were looking at some property and they had some greenhouses on it, and we were gonna go look at the greenhouses after we looked at the property. Of course, you get there, the guy who's running the greenhouses has a buddy in Canada who runs greenhouses as well and grows marijuana in the greenhouse as well. And we go through the greenhouse and I'm talking to him and I start asking him about the water that's on the property and the pH level of the water. And he says, well, the pH is 5.2. So I said to him, I said, so you have to add acid to your water. You need to raise that pH level because that's way too low of a pH level to grow a cannabis plant. I'll tell you that right now. And he said, oh no, he says, I don't do that. These tomatoes that were in there grow fine at 5.2. Well, I guess they do, they look fine. I don't know anything about growing tomatoes. And he also said that his buddy in Canada, he grows his cannabis at 5.2 as well. And I kind of looked at him, I didn't say anything to him. And he said to me, he says the 5.2 is the new 6.5 and that things have changed and that's the new pH for growing. So I get back to the car with the people I'm at, and I make a comment about what's going on. And they looked at me and they said, well, he sure sounded like he knew what he was talking about. So it goes back to what Medman was saying. You're gonna run into people that sound like they might know what they're talking about, but they really don't. And unless you have someone around you who's educated, you're not ever gonna pick up on it. So those of you who are looking to grow 100 pounds of medical marijuana for the state of Florida, you guys are gonna have to find a master grower, and it's not gonna be easy. There's no Growers R Us. There's no monster.com section that says master growers. And the issue is that the growers you are gonna run into, they're not gonna have the expertise it takes to grow 100 pounds of medicine every month. That's 25 pounds a week, every week, weekend in, week out. You know, most of these indoor growers that you're gonna run into have, like I said, grown in a closet or a basement. They may even produce the fire, as they say, but they still lack knowledge of strains, and they still lack the ability to produce on large scales. You know, having 10 to 15 plants is a big difference in having 1,400 plants under your control. So you think to yourself, what's a master grower? I don't know what that is. You know, a master grower, they're breeds of their own. To be honest with you, they come with large egos. If you've been around some of them, you're gonna hear, I grow the best in sliced bread, no one grows like I do, no one grows bud like I do, no one does what I do. It's like they're the only one on the planet who grows cannabis. You know, understanding how the cannabis plant works and cultivating many strains is something that you're gonna really need to find and learn a little bit on your own so that you can ask some of the right questions to these people. You know, a true master grower is gonna have knowledge of strains and reproduction of strains, but he's also gonna have some knowledge of building. He's gonna have some knowledge of electricity. He's gonna have some knowledge of rooms and how to control a room. You know, I basically kind of look at a master grower as a well-rounded handyman that knows how to grow good cannabis because he does get involved into a lot of different areas. You know, when you're looking for a master grower like this, you definitely wanna try and find a person that has been producing at least 5 runs a year, or harvest, for those guys don't know what runs are. You know, those are 60, 65 day strains. Those are mostly hybrids or indicas. And you're looking for someone who's done this year in and year out for a number of years and has taken 5 harvests down every year. Maybe you find that person that's been really on top of his game and takes 6 down a year, which you could feasibly do. You know, when you add all that up and you add the fact that he knows how to clone, he knows how to determine what might be going wrong with a plant just by looking at it and seeing what kind of issues there might be, and experience is gonna add up to what you're looking for a master grower. So if you look at someone like myself, I've spent 20 plus years cultivating. I've been a bud tender. I'm part owner of dispensaries in Arizona. And I've also been a caregiver. And when you add all that together, that's your master grower. You know, I'm the guy, or someone like me is gonna be able to sit with you and help you lay your rooms out and tell you what kind of HVAC systems you're gonna need, or whether you're gonna do a sealed room and do just regular AC and burn CO2. I'm the person that's gonna help lead your group through that to make sure that everything that you spend money on to build your grow has the tolerances that they need, so you have the proper room to dry your medicine, to make sure it's cured properly, and to make sure you store it properly. I mean, these are all things that come into play here. And that's what you're looking for when you're looking for a master grower. And that's about all I got for you guys.